This is Late Night Health, and we are live from the Supply Side West Convention in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I am sitting with one of my favorite people, truly. We've become very good friends, and she puts up with me. Over the last few years, Karen Howard, the CEO of the Organics and Natural Health Association. We're going to talk about a couple of things, including regulations. You were telling me that they were boring.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
They're necessary boring.
They are. And what happens is that, people need to know what's going on. You were on a panel talking about the DSHEA Act. For those people who don't know, you pick up a bottle of vitamins, there's a little label, and it says, this product has not been examined, looked at, blah, 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 by the FDA. I don't get it, but I guess it was some kind of concession back in the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was 94 when DSHEA was passed by the United
94?
Yeah. So this has all been about a 25-year celebration of the passage of DSHEA, Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act. So this is basically the response to what was happening at the time, which was sort of an onslaught against the whole dietary supplement world. Very different time and place, virtually no internet. But they rallied. I wasn't a part of the industry at that point. I was working in the evil empire of managed care. But they rallied thousands and thousands and thousands of consumers to write to Congress, second only to lobbying by consumers against the Vietnam War.
Oh my!
Yes. So
wow.
It was it's the kind of thing that you don't see happen more than once in your lifetime, really. Yeah.
But we still have a problem with people, government, elected officials, and even big pharma fighting the supplement natural products industry, don't we?
We do, and it's sort of a waste of time, given that now 75% of Americans are taking some sort of supplement.
Wow.
So when you look at, the question is every law is going to have problems, and with technology changes and changes in the industry, just the growth of the industry itself, there's a lot of challenges that we have with things like new dietary ingredient applications, people not participating in that process because it doesn't work well. So there's always a question of, do you want to open the law? And my point yesterday was, be careful what you ask for and have an intention behind it. So if you want to open up a law or pass a new one just to rewrite regulations, probably not the best idea. So if you you can make incremental changes, which has happened every now and again, and certainly the CBD issue is pushing legislators into this conversation. So if 75% are taking supplements, I'm guessing the CBD users are ranking up in the 90 percentile, the way it feels.
It's here at the show, the number one thing that everybody's talking about, no matter what they're creating, everybody is talking about CBD.
It's crazy.
Everybody is. Hi there. Everybody is talking about what is going to happen with CBD. I talked to somebody yesterday. He said it's really not legal to sell.
It's really not in the eyes of the FDA. It is certainly not. And several states have passed legislation using FDA as their example to say you're not allowed to put CBD in foods. So they don't want it in food and dietary supplements.
You put it on the skin, though?
Yeah, topical. They don't have any rules for topical to speak of. And I just got an email today. I thought of you. I clicked the link, and it was CBD clothing.
Oh, my. And I told you about the CBD...
nail polish.
Nail polish.
So this is what hurts our industry, right? When these wannabes just hop on to make a quick buck. And it's everywhere. We just had a press release out. I think your listeners are going to want to know this. Amazon has a policy that they don't sell CBD.
Yes.
They took all the good brands off. Everybody who labels correctly, there are lot numbers and all the rules that we have for good manufacturing practices, they're all gone from the site. So
you did a study.
We did a little test. So we took the top 4 sellers on Amazon, because when you query CBD, you get 10,000 hits back, even though they don't sell CBD. So we tested one of the products, came back with CBD in it, 1%. And
out of the 4?
Out of the 4, and it happened to be their number 1 bestseller.
But that's not enough.
And it had illegal claims. So here's the poor consumer, right? 1, Amazon says none of these contain CBD. they're disingenuous and fraudulent to the consumer because it does contain CBD. Flip side, consumers want to buy CBD. They search for it, they buy it, doesn't have any CBD.
Do you think that if it doesn't happen, it'll go into the black market? Which there is a black market on this stuff.
There's a black market for, that is true. I mean, I think, honestly, I think it's going to run its course. You know, we're still, FDA is rightly asking for safety data. There's a lot of research being done on this now. I'm interested in the efficacy issues. You know, do we actually know what the right dosage is going to be? And then there's other problems with, and know these products, so we're going to continue this, and we're going to find out some of these products have contaminants. If it has no CBD in it, is it really derived from hemp?
Well, that's it.
So, or is it an adulterated oil? And we're going to find out.
The other day I went into a market, okay? I think I said this to you the other day when we met. Went into a market, and as I'm checking out, there's a locked cabinet that had at least a dozen, maybe 15 different CBD products. Some were topical. Most were ingestibles. In a supermarket, where in the same county, within the last 2 months, the Ventura County Health Department had a health food store remove some of the products. I didn't even know that they had the power to do that.
Absolutely. And you know, retailers are responsible for what they have on their shelves.
Yeah.
They're liable.
Right.
Amazon is not. That may be changing, though. There's a lawsuit working its way through the courts where one court did rule that a woman who was injured by a product, not an Amazon product, that Amazon was to be held accountable.
Because they were the retailer.
So in the old days, Amazon was mostly their own products.
Right.
Now they're a reseller primarily. So it's going to work its way through the courts to see what kind of liability is actually associated with this. In the meantime, you know, we can't give consumers, you know, we love to educate consumers. We can't give them a lot of information on how much to take. We can certainly teach them how to find a good brand, and we can continue to do due diligence through testing and find out what's going on in the marketplace.
What do you think is the takeaway from the show this year?
You know, nobody wants to talk about CBD anymore. And yet you cannot take 3 feet on this floor without somebody giving you a gummy.
Gee, you're walking the better aisles than I am.
I'm telling you, I've been like laden with it. I've had it in water. I've chewed it. I'm not wearing it yet. But I think the takeaway is we're on the edge of something. I don't know if we're going to fall off in a void. I don't know if Congress is going to step up and kind of put some texture around what we're trying to grab. And I think that everybody's kind of walking on eggshells around this issue.
Do you think there's efficacy in CBD? She made a face at me.
So I'm a study of one. I can't speak for the rest of the world. I've been taking it since July.
Right.
Out of curiosity. I'll tell you that I have a THC CBD salve that I swear by. And I can also tell you that any aches and pains that I have from my workout routine are not addressed at all by the CBD I've been taking. I think it's one of the most interesting things I will ever watch because I think the placebo effect is great.
Oh, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that. So I think we'll know, but I really believe in full plant. So I think that we've mimicked what the pharmaceutical industry has done. They took a CBD instead of the E, F, G, H, I, J, K. They took one, boiled it down, beefed it up, put it back out, and it treats one illness. And that's what pharmacy does. That's what pharmaceutical companies do.
Exactly, and that's for epilepsy.
For epilepsy in children.
In children.
One kind of epilepsy. We don't do that in the natural products world. You know, we're more like, what is the ingredient? We do use science, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
We use nanotechnology and all of this. But we've taken a very sophisticated system in our body that no one knows anything about. It's brand new to us. Brand new.
It is. And up until, last year it wasn't even legal. I mean, 3 years ago, it was on all kinds of shelves, every place, every kind of brand and it was, and then overnight, it was taken off. And then with the Farm Bill, it was allowed again. And I think that's great. I'm concerned that Big Pharma is going to take it over. That's what my fear is.
Well, they're going to do what they do. I mean, we can't stop that. What we can do is do the research and do the work to find the natural product that is a solution for people, because the reason this is so popular is because people are desperate to have solutions for sleep, stress, anxiety.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is what this speaks volumes of. And if CBD is helping people, God bless. I wouldn't want anybody to... I don't think there's any harm in this particular product. But I do think there are better products that we will develop over time. And I'm excited about that.
And I think that what's going to happen is that, there's a glut on the marketplace. Everybody's, somebody's going to come up with CBD pencils. And, right?
Yes.
And shoes.
Got clothes now. So.
And clothes. I've seen hemp clothing.
Hemp clothing is great.
Yeah. But what I want to do is I want it to be an OTC, an over-the-counter product, to keep the price down. And, I know you've got stuff to do, and I'll tell you that I was watching an ad for some big pharma stuff, right? I don't even remember what the disease state or problem state was. But at the end, in very tiny lettering, it said, monthly cost is approximately $3,200 a month. Get your coupon now is big for $5 trial size or $10 trial size. Who can afford a drug for $3,200? It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Karen, if somebody listening is interested in learning more about organics and natural health, where do they go?
You can go to organicandnatural.org, and that is our website that tells you all about our organization and our principles. You can find, if you go and click over on legislation and advocacy, you can see all our press releases, so you can do that. And then we have this great consumer site called nutrientpower.org. And we boil down a lot of great information on supplements and foods for the nutrients that people are deficient in. We've got a lot of information on omega-3, vitamin D, which we've done an enormous amount of work on. We're getting ready to update the site with magnesium, which is our next research target.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we did some video with you, again, last year. Here. Was it here? Or in Anaheim? I can't remember. Anaheim. When you announced it. Organics and Natural Health Association CEO Karen Howard, and thank you for spending time. I know you're.
Thank you for
super
doing
busy.
this work, Mark.
I appreciate that. It's become a passion. Late Night Health is now powered by Pod Clips. Powered by Pod Clips, and we'll be talking about Pod Clips in the next couple of weeks as we take off. It's an exciting venture that we're getting involved in, and I'm going to get Karen involved in it too with the organization. Thank you very much. All right, the music's going to start again, and as the music starts, people look at me and say, "The music's starting?" Yeah, I can hear it. And that means that we're out of time for this segment. We have more coming up from Las Vegas, Nevada, the Supply Side West show from Informa. Don't go away. Stay tuned, because we will have more, actually, in just a couple of minutes. We're backing up guests. I'm Mark Alyn. See you in a couple minutes.